Right, hey guys, how we doing? Hi Dan, hi Vatan, hi Magud. Let's just take a look. So I'm long NASDAQ right now. Let me just get the where's the chart? Let's just get to MT5. I also quite like the look of short on gold. I'm just going to change screens quickly if I can. So gold open calc. In fact, I'm not going to get a chance. I'm just going to put a sell stop underneath. There, sell stop is in. You can probably see it on YouTube, but uh, not on TikTok. I'm just trying to change it's underneath. I've put a sell stop underneath the low of this bullish candle here. Okay, here we go. Right, and stop is going to go in at 46.42. So 46.42.3. I'm not going to put buys in yet. I'd be more interested in buys if we got a solid close above this level. Um, it's just I feel like we might see price spike above here and then we can reverse back down. I'm going to put partial TP in at 250. That's 25 pips. And then if it does break the lows, I expect we could see the market move lower considerably. Let's just take a quick look at the NASDAQ. Okay, so the NASDAQ's sitting 4 pips offside at the minute. There was a buy above the high of this 30-minute outside candle. We've got a 20 pip first take profit on there. I'm not going to do anything with the stop just yet. I'm giving this one a little bit of room to breathe. I like to give especially with the predominant move, I like to give a little bit of wiggle room. Traditionally, if I was on gold now, I'd have moved my stop right underneath the low of this candle, but indexes, I always like to give them a bit more space for the buys. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, we're getting close. What time are we? 1:02. So we've got COMEX coming into play in the next 20 minutes. I'm keeping my eye on the NASDAQ on a different screen over here. Who have we got in today? H, Gold Trader, welcome back. Happy New Year. Blazrak, good afternoon. Batty, good afternoon. King Bitcoin, good afternoon. Why am I not seeing anyone on YouTube? Guys on YouTube, can you hear me? There's no chat. Rouge, Alexandra, good afternoon. Hey guys, what's happening? Why are they? There we go. Commander Chief. Thank you. I just thought I had lost the plot. I thought people were there, but just couldn't type for some reason. So we're going to see what happens over here. I am keeping my eye on NASDAQ. NASDAQ's just had a little pullback. Nothing crazy, about 5 points. Okay, so we're triggered on gold now. Stop loss to entry will go at 15 pips. So as soon as I see a blue 150, we'll be hitting stop loss at entry. Commander Chief took 22 pips on gold. Well done, sir. Ooh. Not an ideal start to this gold trade. 17 pips negative. Hey, Pierre Boozan. Good afternoon, sir. So, usual rules. Um, 70% rule. So, 15 pips, and we will be hitting stop loss at break even. If this one drops from here, I think we could get a nice big runner. It's teasing us. So close to that break even price. Got to 140, so got to 14 and a bit, but didn't quite get to the 15. Rules are rules, right? If I'd have seen it, let me see if the auto break even's going to work today. Nah, don't know why. Oh, hold on. There we go. It might, let's see if it does work. So, for some reason, the auto break even is so temperamental on my magic keys. Um, but, oh, there we go. It's worked today. So, break even, guys. Okay, so we're out at break even. Let's just update the stats. Now, the reason I'm so aggressive with break even on this trade is because we haven't had a change of structure yet. We're literally just selling from resistance. I'm literally looking for the false break here. As it broke this candle, I'm looking for it to run down. Now, if we break this structure down here, it's a different kettle of fish then because we are seeing a shift in sentiment. So nice little, obviously, yeah, some people will be saying, oh, well, you could have taken profit. Well, of course we could have taken some profit, but it wouldn't have been to my rules. So we need one more break even there, and we're going to take the total tally to 14 break evens. So let's do that. We'll update that on the stats on TikTok now. Okay. So it's 14 break evens total and one break even for 2026. Now, we're gonna now look, the one thing that I can tell you is from old school technical charting patterns, when you look at this, you see how the lows are getting higher and we're getting a flat resistance level here. Now, some people be looking at this and say, right, well, this would be what you call a rising wedge. But the way I'm seeing this is I'm seeing it as a basically a, a failing move to the upside. So I would be waiting for the market to break through one of these support levels, then we'll get a nice move to the downside. It doesn't mean it will, it's just old school charting. So if I was to just put it in, I don't trade like this anymore, but you're kind of looking at this and this, and we're just waiting for the market to break that to that downside. Let's just go over, see what's happening with the NASDAQ. Still sitting in same trade from the break of the high of this 30-minute candle. So yeah, we're looking for a 20 pip first take profit. Next take profit, if we get past that, will be for me I'm going to do this one based on structure. Oh, damn it. Let's just put that out of the way. We'll be up here. So it's going to be about 60 odd points. And gold, no, yeah, sod's law. We've got break even, but would we have had our TP? Yeah, 36 points. So some of you, if you're not as aggressive as me, would have hit TP and it's moving quite nicely. Let me get rid of those lines before people start thinking I use trend lines. But yeah, perfect little trade there. Uh, Anyone get any pips there, or did you stay out, or did you get break even? Let me know what you did. So you'll see um, that was a break even trade for me there, guys. DAX, NASDAQ. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the NASDAQ, just because we've got a few wicks and things, if we break these highs here, so if this candle now reverses and breaks its own high, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my stop up a little bit to around 25,580, somewhere around there. And that will be just to reduce the risk a little bit coming into the US Open. Now we've got, I mean, I'll be done by the time the index is open on here because that'll be 2:30 UK time. Let's just have a look at gold on the higher time frame. Yeah, okay. If you got I mean, to be fair though, you've got to wait till 48 minutes if you wait on the hourly. But you can see nice structural point. If we do get below this, where's it gone? Yeah, see, on the lower time frames, it's just a bit messy because look, if you were to just start highlighting all the levels of support, you got one here, right? Then the next one would be down here. Then the next one would be here. Oops. So you're just running into traffic all the time. So looking at my trading view chart, I would now be looking for sells at below 46.14, which is going to be underneath this here. So underneath here. Now, obviously, buys, I'm not really interested in buys unless we get a solid candle close above 46. What's that? 39, 46.39. I'm looking for candle close above that before I'll take any buy opportunities. Yeah, DAX is kind of off the charts for me now. We've had such strong um, buying momentum. The bearish setups look great. So short-term correction now before we look for buys. So any selling opportunity, I think, is going to be quite good if we can find. So I'm going to have to come back. Don't like any of that. So we'll look on the. Okay, so definitely going to have to be a higher time frame, at least the 30-minute. But I'm probably going to stay away from selling the DAX. Just looking at this. Okay, so gold's starting to make a move now. We're under 46.28. So it's just dropped about $10 over the last hour, which, it's fantastic. The highest probability trade is always going to come when you're up in these areas, but this is why I need to be aggressive, because you don't know it's going to do this, and it is against a very, very strong directional trade. I'm just going to have a look, see if we've got any potential sort of like outside candles where we could look to trade the break of a low. What price is that? It's another $5. Now, I'm not one for trading the 4 hour, but if 46.20. Okay. Based off the hourly, if I got an hourly close below 46.20, I would look at selling underneath. Um, yeah, very slow, Sandra. Very slow. Not a lot going on. I think, yeah, just set alerts at 46.20. Hmm. So, two trades. One, if we get a break and close above 46.39, and the second one would be a break and close below 46.20. So it's a $20 range where there's not a lot we can do. We obviously took our first opportunity here for sells. We got stopped at break even, but the call was right. 130, 130. Hold on, comics is coming in. What's the wick here? It's 23 points. Okay, switch. Okay, let's have a look. Nice big move up. Okay, I'm taking this. Um, I'm looking at this big sell-off candle. Now look, we're potentially going to do something similar to what we've seen here, which is buyers have come back in, have a wick down, it runs back up. Now, if that is the case, then we're not going to get triggered. But if we do break our own low, we should run down and fill this area. So I'm just going to put in again partial TP. I'm not going to be greedy here because we are sat in a congested area. But one thing I do know is volume will break structure. So the question is this what's going to happen? So I've put in a 20 pip first take profit, like I said, and I'm taking 60% of it off. So I'm taking more than I usually would. Oh God, yeah, I've not written that on my chart. Gold trader, thank you. What is it? PPI, isn't it? 130. Cancel that, guys. Cancel that. Cancel that. That's me being silly. See, this is what happened. I deleted everything off my chart, and I've thank you, guys. Yeah, core, yeah, PPI and retail sales. Mr. Buckley, good afternoon. Now look, one thing I never do is I won't place that now. I'm happy to trade after the news, but yes, the guys, you just saved my bacon there. Thank you for sharing. I don't know why I've not put the news on my chart. So yeah, what we're expecting, core PPI is forecasted at zero point 0.2, retail sales 0.4, PPI month on month 0.2, and retail sales month on month 0.5. Bhavinder, hello. Express Digital, good afternoon. Vert, good afternoon. Norki, good afternoon. 1919, good afternoon. Welcome to the live stream. So yeah, we just focus primarily in the afternoon on gold and NASDAQ, and in the mornings, gold and DAX. Look, I posted the sell chart on the free Telegram channel for gold. Um, yeah, I got stopped at break even, just management rules. But if you see, depending on how you want to manage that trade, you would have gone down and hit full targets. Um, Let's wait for the news. Yeah, Nick, thank you. Gary Edwards, welcome to the stream. Is this your first time here? Max Gradwell, good afternoon. Ed, good afternoon. Coco, how you doing? So we've got big news in 10 minutes. We'll wait for that to come out and then we'll see what happens. But how's everyone's morning been? Eventful? Quiet? Nepali Trader, good afternoon. Heru, good afternoon. Oscar, welcome back, sir. So yeah, we're waiting for the numbers to come out. I was kindly reminded about them. I deleted. See, this is the one thing, right? Whenever you mark up a chart, so when I mark up my chart, it looks like this, but I always write the news on. And today, I cleared my chart and I've forgotten to write the news back on. So the reason I write the news on the chart is so that I don't do silly mistakes like I just nearly did. So very good that you guys all reminded me about the numbers. Uh, you should be able to put on captions. Uh, yeah, nice. That's it, Anna. Stay out. Wait for the clear setups. But I think Nasdaq's probably the better one out there at the minute. This one here. Plenty of clean space to the upside. It's just back at my entry price right now. So let's see where we go. 20 points um, for TP1 anyway. So we'll see where we are in the next 5 minutes, just ahead of the news. I will de-risk, and if it hasn't hit TP1, I will de-risk. I'll close half and just move my stops to break even and see what happens. So we've got 7 minutes to the news. One second. Guys on YouTube, just a quick question. Can you put on captions? So when I'm speaking, can you put on captions, subtitles, or not? Mm, I just got someone watching who's in a public place and he's just struggling to he can't put the sound on. So it'd be nice to know if you can put on if you can put on captions. So 6 minutes. Right. So I just brought up the stop underneath the low of the current 30-minute candle. 36. Andres, good afternoon. JV, Ismail. So seeing if we can get to that first TP just ahead of the news. If not, I will be de-risking. Says unavailable. Okay, thanks, Nick. Mario, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. What have we got? 4 minutes. Jerry Giles, good afternoon. Pierre Bouzin is back in the house. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Two minutes, 20 seconds. Right. Getting ready to close half out. Probably give it another minute. There's a minute and a half to go. Okay. I'm going to close half out if I see 10 pips before the time up. So 7. We've got 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. I'll tell you as soon as I do it. If you see 1000, I'll just hit the close half. We've got 50 seconds. Right, I've just closed half out, guys. I'm not going to take it all the way to the wire. So that was 7.5 pips. Let's see what happens. Thirty seconds to go. If it spikes up some more just before the news, I will close some more out. We've got 20 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, I just closed another half at 14 pips. So now, no matter what, this will be a profitable trade. So let's see what happens. There we go. That was your target one hit. Now we're at break even. So 20 pips in the bank. We've closed 7.4, 14.5, and then 20. So it's probably going to average out about 15, 14 pips there or thereabouts. What's happened to gold? We'll come back to, we'll look at gold in a second. There we go. Right, we're done. All right, let's just add to the scoreboard. 3 wins, 1 break even. All right, results. So we're now moving up to 80 wins in total and 3 for this year. So 80 and 3. Apply. Okay, so we are now updated. All right, let's see what's happening with gold. Now interestingly, that would have hit our TP, came straight onto the structure. Now we'll see what happens. Listen, we can't predict what's going to happen with the news, so I just let the news do whatever it's going to do. I'd rather trade after the news. What's happening with the NASDAQ? Oh yeah. Mm. Let me see what the news. How did the news come in? Okay, so core retail was a slight beat. PPI was the same. Retail sales month on month was a slight beat, and core PPI month on month was a miss. I don't really know what that's going to do to the. I don't really care about the fundamentals to be honest. The fundamentals, you can get good news in the market drops, you can get bad news in the market rallies. So let's see. I think I might just take this at the same entry price again. So let's see. Oops. Let's see. No, I don't like the 5 minute. Okay. So I'm going to watch the fight. Let's get rid of that. I'm not going to take that again. Don't need to take that again. Gold, if we get a break above here, then yeah, we can look at that. It's just a bit messy, really. Everything's a bit messy. Not really in favor of taking anything else at the minute. Let's just switch back to trading view where we can look at the charts a bit better because I don't like MetaTrader for analyzing. It's just purely a facilitation tool for taking trades. All right, YouTube, let's switch you over. Okay, there we go. Now, let's let's clear the decks. Okay, daily. Okay, first thing I see on the daily is right now, yes, we've broken yesterday's low. We potentially at structure, so we could see the market come down. But on the daily, it's just looking very messy. You've got daily support here, which we tapped into, and we've got some daily wicks below that. So from the higher time frame, yes, my bias is for the market to potentially continue to the upside. But I just don't like the chart now. It's just getting very congested. We've got lower highs, we've got higher lows. It's just getting congested. We need a big move to the upside or to the downside. I don't care which way it goes, but we need a big move to the upside and downside. Oh, gold is just taking a drop. Okay, so 130. Yeah, see, there's no. Okay, 30 minute. We get a close below here. I'm trading, but that means we have to wait till 2 o'clock. So let's just. So this is my no trade range. We've got this 18. So 70 pips. So yeah, we've got plenty of room to the downside. So let's get rid of that. Move that into here. Let's put the price point on here. So it's going to be 25, 46.25. News has already been out, so don't care now. We could just trade based on PA. Yeah, it needs to move. It really, really needs to move in a direction. A bit like the NASDAQ. We're just getting very, very congested at this 46, 30, 40 area. So this $20 range is, we need it to break outside of it. Whatever it's going to remain in this area, I think this is where a lot of people start to lose money. So the best thing you can do on EALT17, thank you. King Fahad, thanks for the follow, very kind. Why buys and not shorts? Give me a clue, buddy. I'm not sure what you mean. Why buys and not shorts, and whereabouts? Or do you mean why is my bias for buys? Is that the question? And just uh, Lady Moon, good afternoon. Yeah, so DS24166. If you just let me know what your question is relating to, why buys and not shorts, because I've only just seen it. Um, Broker Pips, good afternoon. Okay, guys, um, things to look at. If you were to say, what is the best thing about your trading? What is it? Is it your discipline? Is it your entries? Is it your trade management? So if you had to write two things about you as your trader, what is your strength? What is your best strength, and what is your biggest weakness? He thinks I'm placing. Yeah, I've got no orders. I've got no orders at the minute. You'll know as soon as I have any orders. I had a buy on NASDAQ, which we came out of for a bit of profit. Uh, yeah, not a massive day today. I had a nice trade last night. I've taken a biggish loss, 1.5% loss today on gold, and about a 0.3% trade just there on NASDAQ. So up just under 1,000 today after commissions. We've done 1,085 profit, but by the time you take commissions out, 954.39. For those of you that want to see, you can follow. You can follow my what is it? My FX book link. You can see what I'm doing. So we set this one up when we started keeping track of the trades on live streams here and in my members forum. So this is, so you can see it here. It's never all perfect. You can see here we have some drawdown, bit of drawdown here. But on the whole, it's moving the right way. Worst trading day for me is Thursday. For some reason, don't ask me why. No, I don't go out on Wednesday nights. So you can see I have 64% winning trades on a Thursday, 86 on a Friday, 78% winning on a Wednesday, 78 on a Tuesday, and 80 on a Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all very, very similar. Thursday is a bit of a shit show in comparison, 64%, and then 86% winning trades on a Friday. Averaging, what's that, 0.4% a day, a monthly 14%. Lowest month return was last September when we started this. So where is it? 6.37 in September, 9.58 October, 17 in November, 13 in December, and then January we're sitting at around 7%. So my first TP on gold is 48.80. Jesus. You're not doing anything with it until then? Christ. I mean, the way it's moving wouldn't surprise me if it gets there by next week, but you got the patience of a saint. I need a bit of that. I used to have it. I just don't anymore. Okay, so if you look at gold now on the hourly, okay, so this is the buy. This is the buy. This is what we're going to do, guys. Hourly flip. If it kicks in, we've got 17 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna. If it triggers in the next 17 minutes, let me just. Where's the chart? Right, let's just change it. So TikTok, let's change screens. It's only for this candle, by the way. This order is only going to be for this candle. I'm just waiting for TikTok screen to change. Okay, here we go. Okay, open calc. Alright, so I'll just give it. And we will open the trade. Partial TP. 250. Gonna stick another partial TP in at, maybe I'm not. Something's happening to this. Okay. Try again. There we go. All right, 250 for 25 pips. Gonna stick another one in at 50 pips. And then, okay, so what's the idea about this trade? So if we look, there was resistance here. We did get a little close above, and since then the market's come all the way down, taken out all these lows, taken out all the lows. So if it does break the high of this candle, I expect us to push on. Now, whether it goes on all the way up to 4,700 or 4,800, I have no idea. If it gets 25 pips, I hit TP1, 50% is going to come out. Uh, you sold your silver out at 58.80. Oh man. So this is what I'm doing, but I will cancel this order if it hasn't triggered during this candle. So I've got 14 minutes for this candle to trigger. Hey Vic, how you doing, mate? We've got a buy stop above the high here of this candle. So 46, 41.88. So 46, 42.08 will be a, there we go, 46, 42.1. Yeah, like I said, I will be canceling it if it hasn't. It's a black screen on YouTube. Uh, just go back, guys. Jez, just have a look for me again now. Just not quite sure what. Not quite sure what has happened to YouTube. Hey Dave, thanks for the like. Uh, the next the next hourly it will push higher or get sold off. It's like the old commentator's quote. When it comes to football, it's a game of two halves. Yeah. Well, the $1 million question is which way, right? Pedro, how you doing? Um, one second. 11 minutes. One 149. Yeah, so in 11 minutes, this candle will close, and then we'll make another decision about what we're going to do. Like I said, it has to trigger in this candle. If it doesn't trigger this candle, I'm going to close the trade. What's going on with NASDAQ? Not a lot. DAX. DAX is down 113 points. NASDAQ's dropping. So if I was just to look at the NASDAQ higher time frame, where can we potentially look at buyers stepping in? So this was the area I was interested in. We took $500 out of it, but it didn't materialize. News has obviously shaped the way the market's moved for the last half an hour. Object list, let's clean this chart up. It looks disgusting. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll just see what happens here for the next 9 minutes. If we don't trigger, I'm just going to close it down. Anyone got any plans this weekend, guys? What are we up to? So remember, there's no more live streams this week for US Open. The next 2 days, I have some family commitments. So market smells like central back and fun. Hey Vic, did YouTube crash? Is it still down? I don't know what's happened with YouTube. Is it still black screens on YouTube? Bobby Dazzler, good afternoon. So if you have just walked in, we are looking at a breakout flip setup here on gold on the hourly chart with entries just above the previous hourly's high. Current hourly has come down, taken out all the lows, and we're seeing if the buyers after the news will just continue and take out the highs. If they do, we've got our first TP set 25 pips, second one 50 pips, and then extended target. I'm just going to bring it down just under the even handle. So just under 46.50. So 46.9, 49.45. But like I said, if it doesn't trigger in the next 7 minutes, I will be cancelling the order and will be waiting for another potential setup. So let's have a look what we could watch for. So based off the 5 minute, we're going to need to see a candle close above 46.39. But that'll show us something different. Uh, Raquel, good afternoon. Now, listen, guys, it's been a quiet session. We've had 2 trades today, one break even, and one. By the time we scaled out, it was the equivalent of hitting TP1 then break even. Just only bank $500. 39, 40, 41. There is selling. We'll need a volume push to break up. Yeah. Oh, definitely needs some buying, that's for sure. Hi, Kaylin. You've not missed a lot today, mate. It's been a bit quiet. Market didn't really do a lot on the news, dropped a bit, and then came back to where it was. Uh, so I will be cancelling this order in a couple of minutes. In fact, I'll do. Let me see. Mad, good afternoon. Dusif, good afternoon. Yeah, so listen, if you are new here, guys, we're price action traders. Some days you get plenty going on, others not a lot. And to be fair, right now they're as bullish as the markets are in certain scenarios. Your scheduled live event starts in 10 minutes. What? Oh, dear me. Looks like I've made an error on TikTok. So there is no more uh, lives today, guys. There's no more lives today, even though TikTok seems to think I've scheduled another one for 2:05. After this one, I'm hanging my boots up for the day. It's been profitable, but not as good as it was. It was about 4K up at one point today, and then lost three on a gold trade. When I trade market action, I lose money. Yeah, you stick to what you do best, bud. And this is the thing, right? Remember, the way everyone trades has to fit and suit how they get returns. Some people will just jump on a live stream, they'll see someone trading, they'll see them making money or not making money and think, oh, I'll trade like that. But it has to suit your personality, right? If you're kind of the person that's very methodical and laid back, then you're going to prefer something, I don't know, that is more, let's say, set and forget. You don't want to be looking at every 2 minutes, but the way that you'd enter and the way that you'd manage would be based around a system that you've designed. If you're someone like me that has very little patience, I want I don't want any trades running overnight. I literally close everything off every day. I want to go to bed. I want to close my eyes and wake up feeling rested and not thinking, fuck, what did the market do last night? So if you're that type of person, then you want to focus on day trading. But day trading, does your life allow you to day trade? So does work, does family, whatever the commitments you have, does it allow you to day trade? If not, then you need to start looking at a different way of trading, right? Maybe managed accounts, that kind of thing. So everything is for personal preference. All right, let's just have a look at the hourly. It's not triggered. We've closed back below the level, so let's get rid of that. So deleted the order. So in order to trade now, for buys, I need a 15-minute close above 46.39. That's what I need. 15-minute close above. Oh, this black horizontal. God. Okay. Back in the gym, and it's definitely taken its toll on me. Okay, new hourly candle is – forming. Yeah, I'm these days I really don't I don't want to sit here and just stare at the charts because it's wasted time. I'd rather come back when the market's had a big move, giving me plenty of clear space to look at trading for tomorrow. So I'll sit here for another 10 minutes. So if you've got any questions, guys, fire them in now. Um, we need we need we need something to happen, and this is across all the markets. Not DAX, not too. The DAX is fine. The DAX, we just need a correction. NASDAQ and gold, we need the market to move and clear out a load of crap. Um, and then once we've got that move, then we can make another plan. So like the sell that we tried to get here, we're just trying to look, or I was trying to look for, based upon my rules, I was trying to look for that first potential move where the market might just come down, clear out a load of traffic, and then maybe head back down into this area before we get the buys again. Um, didn't materialize. We got stopped at break even. So I'm kind of bored of today's session already. So I apologize, guys, but when nothing's happening, there's not a lot I can do. I can't magic the charts to start moving to the upside or to the downside. And this is Anna Heimar. What did you say about DAX, please? Okay, yeah, so look, DAX is probably if we look at the DAX on the daily, DAX has had, I think, 15 straight uh, bullish days. Where's object? Let's get rid of all this. Oops. So this is just quite a nice, simple corrective move happening right now. And it's kind of expected when you have something like this that has constant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sorry, 14 days that produced higher highs and higher lows consecutive. So it's inevitable at some point there's going to be a correction. So this move lower, all I'm looking for is some clarity for a BPC long. Now, short term, your bias short term will be for sells. Okay. So if I was looking at the hourly, my short term here, my bias is for sells until I see the market come into, I don't know, maybe here, and let's say we get some buyers, then fantastic. We could look for buys at 26,210. You got 65 points selling underneath the low of this candle here, which is broken out. On the hourly, we've got some nice clear range to trade into. How would you do that when the pullback? How would you do that when the pullback will stop? How do you mean? How do you know when the pullback will stop? Is that what you're saying? Idea you got. Yeah, I mean, look, no one's got a crystal ball, so I don't know when it will stop, but clues that will happen will be, for example, like here we've broken this area, so we've had a change in structure on the hourly. So now the hourly, you can look for it to come down here. If buyers come in, then you can look to trade it, but just remember that the buy from here doesn't necessarily mean it's going to start going back up to the top. It might just come back to the next resistance area, which would be a correction on the hourly time frame for it to start moving back down again. Yeah. So you just want to think about what's happening on the bigger picture. So the bigger picture now, we've got potentially a second daily bearish candle close. Potentially, it's not yet. Today could finish bullish, right? So if today finishes bearish, then we're saying, right, okay, tomorrow my intraday bias is for sells. Okay, the longer term trend is up, but my intraday bias is for sell. So if the market rallies and we still stay within our structure without creating new highs, then I'm going to be looking for BPC sells. I'm just going to wait for the market to create a resistance, then I'm going to look to sell it, providing we've got clear candle space on the left. So if you think about this, we've created a new structure low, we've broken out, we've come up, we've created resistance, now we've just broken out of it. Look for the market to drop down to the next price point. Right, where's everyone that's on today? Where are you registering from? What part of the world? Uh, Fib. uh, Um, I can't say anything. I used to use it years ago, but look, if you just think about it, Fibonacci is a percentage of a retracement. So if you looked at this and you said, right, I'm looking from this swing low to this swing high, and that's what 260 points. This is pulled back to 150, so it's had a 90 point retracement. So it's basically, what's that? It's nearly just under a third, so it's like a 28.2. So when you put your fib on, you're just going to go from the low, oh, you can't see it's yellow, up to the high, and then you're just going to say, right, well, where are my fib levels? Let me just, no, I don't use these because look, ultimately 38.2, let's just change the colors, black, common, okay, done. There. So look at this. So where do they come in? There's that many different percentage levels. You'll always be able to find a market that's going to come in and say, oh, look, and they'll go, oh, well, price is at the 38.2 and the 50. You get other people that say, right, between the 38.2 and the 61.8, they go, oh, this is the pressure cooker zone. This is where the market's going to turn. Well, look, the market's going up anyway. Do I need to look at drawing something on that tells me a percentage? If I just said, right, where's the last support level? Drop that in here. The market comes back to it. Just wait for buyers. There's our BPC setup. Wait for a wick down, buy the high. I don't need to get loads of other lines on my chart. Remember, people that use loads of different indicators, they do it for confidence, supposedly, or confluence. But the more things that you have on your chart, the more confusing it is. It's like you, what happens if one disagrees with the other, but yet you have them all and as your checklist, and then one it doesn't line up, another one it does. So then you don't take it, or do you then say, well, this one's a grade A because everything lines up? And then guess what? The grade A one doesn't go and have a winning trade, but your grade B one has a winning trade. You're just adding, for me, it's just you're adding too many layers of discretion. And it's like, do you draw it from the wick bottom? Do you draw it from the body? So and which cycles are people taking? Are they taking the daily? Are they taking the H4, the H1? Are they doing multiples and getting fib overlaps? This is where I think that people can get lost in trading and finding so many different ways of how to confuse such a simple process. Um, I have a simple process. I don't need confluence. I've done all the weird and wacky things. Um, if I was going to go back into higher time frame trading, the only thing that I would use, and I can't speak highly enough about it, is commitment of traders report um, with sentiment analysis. I just don't have the patience for it. Yeah, just let Usman, yeah, hi mate. Yeah, so when it comes to finding support, let the market tell you. As soon as buyers come back in, you've got a new support level. That's it. As soon as buyers come back in, you've got a new support level. So something like this, we're seeing buyers, but if this candle flips over, we can look to sell it back down into this area. What's happening with gold? Not a lot. Guys, I'm going to switch off because these markets are a bit dull today, and I don't want to sit here and talk you to death so that you don't want to come back again. Um, I like it when there's things that are actually interesting for me to look at and warrant discussing trading opportunities. And I don't see anything, even if the markets move $10 or 20 points on some of these charts, I'm not going to get a setup. So on days like this or times like this, set your alerts at the price points that you're interested in, and then see if the market breaks through it or if it rejects it. If it does, then we can start looking at the charts again. So today, guys, enjoy an early bath. Enjoy going and do something. Go out for a walk, read a book, do something productive, write your planner, write what good habits you're going to do tomorrow, whatever it is. So, guys, I'm going to check out now. Have a great day. I will not be back until Monday. Now, it's the next live stream on YouTube and TikTok will be Monday at 1 o'clock. All right, guys, take care. Have a great weekend. Yeah, there you go. Go play poker. Love it. All right. Bye, guys. Bye bye.